Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my video. All right, so we're gonna do this video on the what you guys should look for if you guys have a slow crank situation. Normally, if you guys have this situation, um, and slow cranks are when the starter, it doesn't actually get the full power of the battery, but it still does crank. um it cranks not at full power, but it cranks slow, but enough to start the engine. All right, now with a situation like that, normally you would have a battery that's about to either go out, a battery that wasn't charged up by the alternator, and it leads to the battery going out and the car not starting or running until it dies out. Or you have an issue with maybe corrosion on the ground cable, or corrosion on the positive and negative cable. But 99% of the times, if you guys have this issue, it's because you guys have either A, a bad battery, or B, corrosion on the positive and negative cable. Now, a lot of people, when they have issues, not just with slow cranks, not just with no cranks, not just with a whole lot of different issues where it cranks sometimes, it doesn't crank other times. Now, you guys could do this trying to figure out whether it's the battery or not by wiggling the cable and try to start it. All right. Normally what happens when you wiggle the cable, if you're able to wiggle the cable, if your terminal is loose enough to wiggle the cable, if you're able to wiggle the terminal socket, sometimes it loosens enough of the debris, the corrosion, to actually get the car to start normally. Now, batteries are normally good for about 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You're stretching the lifespan of the battery, but normally 3 to 4 years would be a good time to actually change out the battery. However, a lot of people don't do that. They'll swap it out when their car is dead and they realize it's probably the battery that's gone out. That's when they change up the battery. Now, some people do change out the battery at 3-year or 4-year intervals, but if you guys have this situation where you guys have a slow cranking situation, normally in these kind of situations, you don't actually get a check engine light or a code. Now, if you do get a check engine light or a code, you definitely want to hook up an OBD2 scanner to see what it could possibly be. It could be maybe a crankshaft position sensor, a camshaft position sensor that might have issues, that might be broken, that might need to be replaced. But most of the time with these slow crank situations, you don't actually get a check engine light or a code for it, because it's more so an electrical thing with the battery. Like the battery is either not generating enough power for the starter to crank normally at the normal RPM. All right. Like anything else, if you and this doesn't just pertain to cars, like anything else, if you have anything that's a battery, that's powered by a battery, battery shavers, battery toys, or whatever, when the battery is low on electricity, it works slower. It works slower. So that's where 99% of the problem is. Now, if you guys run into this situation, all right, first and foremost, and what you guys need to do is you guys really need to make sure that your terminals, your positive, negative terminals are clean. All right, it's always good to take the terminals off and use a wire brush and clean the inside ring, clean the outside. If you guys have some oxidative solution, you guys could use that. But a wire brush and clean up the wire brush and pretty much use a wet towel to clean that up, and do that with the terminals, pop it back on. Normally that would solve the situation if your battery was good. If you still have the same situation, chances are your battery is probably having issues, and a lot of times it is the battery. You want to make sure that your battery is newer than 3 years old or 4 years old. You could always go to AutoZone, Advanced Auto to check it out. Batteries are not expensive. You can go to Walmart, get like a $50 battery, pop it in, and it'll solve your situation. That's pretty much it. It's a simple fix. It's a simple fix. Now, granted, if you guys have a good battery and you can, and the terminals are clean, and you guys might want to know, what could be causing that situation. You guys could actually check the negative cable to see whether it's clean and firmly grounded to the frame. Sometimes if the ground cable is either rusted where it grounds to the frame, or the surface area on the frame it does not have enough contact area for the cable where it connects to, it could cause power situations like that, but it could cause a whole lot of other situations with your ECU, with idling issues, with how your car drives, etc., etc. But that's just another thing to look at if you guys have a situation like that. But hopefully this video has helped you guys out with this slow crank situation that you might have. It's not the most difficult situation to diagnose. There's there's only a certain amount of things that could cause it, and 99% of the time it's a power issue, either with the battery or not, or for whatever reason the starter is just not getting enough power to actually generate the speed it needs to have a normal crank. But if your engine, but it cranks over and your engine starts up, you guys really don't need to worry about trying to figure out whether it's something more complicated, whether it's something more mechanical, etc., etc. Now, I will leave you with this. On rare occasions, all right, on rare occasions, it could be some component of component on the serpentine belt that's either on the close to being seized. The serpentine belt is connected to a variety of pulleys on a lot of cars. All right, the tensioner pulley, and it's connected to a regular pulley. It's connected to the pulley on the compressor, AC compressor. It's connected to the steering pump. It's connected to, any of those components could actually seize up, or on the way to being seized. Now, if you guys have never had this situation before, these components over time, either they get it's not oiled as good as it was. Over time the oil gets brittle and everything, and then these components don't turn, all right, and and if that happens, it could actually keep the starter from either turning, or it'll have the starter work a lot harder to turn, to turn the engine, because something on that serpentine belt is actually keeping the engine from turning. But that's the other thing. That's probably like the last thing that you guys could look for if you guys can't figure out exactly what that situation is. A lot of times that would actually cause a no crack, no start situation. A lot of people don't suspect that could cause it, but if you guys figure everything else out, and that's what you guys are left with, definitely just take a serpentine belt off and just turn all the little turn all the pulleys, just to make sure that they turn easily. If they don't, then, and if they don't turn easily, or if they don't turn at all, then you have one of those issues where the components are seized, and either the starter is making the starter not turn as fast, or it's going to keep the starter from turning. But anyway, I just remembered situations where that has happened in various cars. But anyway, if you guys have any of your own personal experiences with this, definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff. All right, guys, take care.